I'm Koios, the Rōnin BeatMaker. And welcome to Lounge Rōnin. All things, everything. And before we get into it, if you are new to the channel, would you kindly, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And please make sure to leave a comment with your thoughts below and sprinkle in some constructive criticism, as that will help me and the channel grow. And make sure to share this stream out with any like-minded viewers or anyone curious to anything and everything. And on this episode, we are going to discuss Osama, the man-eater Croc, has finally been killed. This is as you all know, this is groundbreaking news, so to speak. It's from 2021. It's older news, but it checks out. And this story it came across my mind because I was watching. So a little fun fact about me: I love nature documentaries, and that's what I like to watch a lot of at night during my downtime. And I just happened to be thinking about um, they're talking about crocodiles, and crocodiles in God, where was it? Somewhere in the Middle East. I think it was in Egypt. I can't recall. But they just showed this massive crocodile. And it made me think about this documentary I watched back in the day when um, the History Channel was pretty cool. They would have some wild documentaries, and I remember watching one about this man-eating croc that had racked up about 300 bodies. I mean, he'd be making the OnlyFans girls a run for their money. And so I was like, man, I wonder if there's been any update on that on that story, because it was such a big story at the time that they straight up made a movie about it, called Primeval, and we'll check out the trailer for that later on. But as I delved into uh, my research, uncovering the mysteries of this crocodile, I end up coming across this story about a man-eating crocodile named Osama. My dude was terrorizing this community. So, without further ado, let us get into it. Oh, give me a second. Just realized that my mouse is dead, and I kind of need that at the moment. Which is classic me. Um, give me, give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Oh, that's so funny. I might need to grab my other mouse real quick. When you think you're prepared, and then it turns out you're not prepared, which happens to me. But before we get into the article, let me let my mouse charge for a hot minute, and then we'll jump into it. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big fan of nature documentaries, and I love to wind down to nature documentaries during my end of the day. And recently, I was watching one on, yeah, it was on Turkey, I believe, and it's called the pendulum tit. It's a type of bird, and the what I found this bird hilarious. So essentially, the female bird, right? The male will build a nest, and um, to entice and attract a female mate. And what's really fascinating about it is, right, is after he builds the nest, the female will inspect the nest, and if it's up to par to her liking, they will mate. She'll then lay the eggs in the nest, but here's the twist: she will then hide the eggs, uh, ensuring that the male pendulum tit does not leave her and abandon her. And after a while, when the eggs are done essentially developing, she will then abandon the nest, uh, revealing the hatched babies and leaving the male pendulum tit to, as they put it, perform his parental duties. And I found that really funny because I'm like, wow, that's, the feminists totally co-opted that from Mother Nature. Okay, we're good to go. So yeah, feminism was co-opted by a bunch of Turkish birds. So now you know. Alrighty, let's get into it. This article is written by Emma Grit and Rebecca McVeigh on June 9th, 2021. Immortal killer Croc, known as Osama, killed 80 people from just one African village. Some villagers believe the 16-foot long beast was Satan himself. Well, as one comedian once said, if heat rises, then maybe heaven is hotter than hell. Here we have an image of the croc that was finally captured using a pair of cow's lungs as bait. Man, that's a big baby. Look at the size of that one. Isn't it crazy that crocodiles are essentially dinosaurs? They're one of the few animals that we have on this planet that, I'm not here to get into the debates of evolution. I know some people are a little skeptical on it, but I'm not here for that. But what I find impressive is that with crocodiles, alligators, even sharks, they have not changed their um, their evolutionary uh, predatory mindset or even their evolutionary physicality. Like they are the perfect species. They're the perfect. They've perfected you know, their level up. So I think, it's really fascinating about, crocodiles and sharks and other animals or, other predators that have perfected their physicality in relation to their environment. Um, that there's no need for any more type of evolutionary development. They perfected it. It's fascinating. Fascinating stuff. But I digress. Village life by a beautiful lake sounds idyllic, but not if your neighbor is a giant bloodthirsty crocodile that was raised by Bette Midler. The largest African lake. Oh, you guys didn't know? Bette Midler, she has a little spot down in Africa, in Uganda. Anyways, the largest lake in Africa, Lake Victoria in Uganda, is home to a 75-year-old crocodile named Osama, named after the terrorist behind the 9/11 attack, who has killed and eaten 80 people. Just like October 7th was Israel's 9/11, so too was Osama in Lake Victoria was their 9/11. Apparently everyone's getting their own 9/11 now. But I digress. Save that for my next political talk. The 16-foot long killer croc terrorized locals in Luganga for years. Between 1991 to 2005, Osama went through a particularly ruthless spell where he wiped out a tenth of the village population. God damn. Wow. Stories would circulate about the croc snatch children filling buckets of water by the shore of the lake, or swim beneath fishing boats and deliberately capsize them, the Daily Star reported. Villagers believe Osama was immortal, while others were convinced he was Satan himself. One man witnessed and survived an attack by the fearsome reptile, but his brother was not so lucky. The Sydney Morning Herald spoke to Paul uh, Kwe, 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 Kwewal Yanga, apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, who was rowing in the back of his boat as his brother Peter fished from the front when Osama leaped in and snatched him. He recalled, Osama just emerged from the water vertically and flopped into the boat. The back of the boat where I was sitting was submerged. The terrified fisherman called for help, but the crocodile had latched onto Peter's leg with his giant jaws and began to pull at him, trying to get him into the water. Paul added, Peter was clutching the side, screaming. They fought for about 5 minutes until I heard a tearing sound. Peter shouted, He's broken my leg. Then he let go and was dragged into the lake. A few days later, we found his head and his arm. Jesus. Villagers were more frightened than ever before, with some even waking up in the middle of the night and feeling compelled to pray for protection from the aquatic predator. Here we have an image as villagers stand around a gigantic crocodile captured in Uganda. That's crazy. This story right here with Paul and how he survived and his brother. Imagine experiencing that. He literally said the crocodile just vertically jumped out of the water and just landed into the boat. Now that's what you see in the movies. That's what you see in the crocodile, horror films. But you don't hear about that in real life. And then you hear about it in real life, and it's even more frightening than what you would expect in a movie or a TV show. I often think about, like, imagine, excuse me, I had to cough. Imagine, right, if we still lived with in North America with some of the large North America fauna. Like, imagine having to encounter a giant sloth, right? You guys may have, you think of the sloth, these tiny, little slow guys with their little smile, looking always content. But when they were giant sloths, they were some of the top predators on North America. Right? They they were dangerous. So it's like, just imagine, like, living in a time now where right now, but we have, giant sloths and, the short-nosed bear or saber-toothed tigers. Some of these various, large North American prehistoric fauna animals that were just roaming about. And and we're fortunate. If you live in a city, living out here, if you live out in the country, wherever you live, in the small city, small towns here in North America, we don't, yeah, of course we have the mountain lions and bobcats, and fisher cats and poisonous snakes and things like that. And yeah, and bears. I forgot about the bears and wolves. But and yeah, people are getting attacked, by those animals. But I mean, the frequency of that is not as much as we would expect. Compared to living in an area where there's crocodiles. And yeah, down in Florida there are crocodiles, but like, they don't seem to be like the African crocodiles. Like, the African crocodiles, they play the keep. So just imagine, like, imagine, like, you couldn't really leave your kid out waiting for the bus out of the concern that, like, a pterodactyl will just swoop them up from the sky. Like, we are so blessed that we don't live with some of those larger predators running about. We are very fortunate. It would just be crazy to live, around that. Imagine, you're going for a hike, and next thing you know, you're running for your life trying to avoid getting eaten by a giant sloth. This is crazy. Go online and look up how big a giant sloth was. Bigger than bears. Things were massive. We we tend to forget how fortunate, we are. We're not living in areas where, we can walk out our door. We don't have to worry about, a damn tiger or a lion just dragging us out into the bush. There are areas that have to literally worry about that. It's crazy. We're very fortunate. Let's get back into this article. All right, where were we? Okay, here we go. Their pleas for godly intervention were finally answered in 2005 when the monster croc was captured. After a stakeout lasting for 7 days and nights, biblical, a group made up of 50 local men and wildlife officials lured the beast into a trap using a pair of cow's lungs as bait. As Osama jumped up to grab the lungs, he inadvertently bit into a snare which snaked around his teeth. The group then worked tirelessly to restrain the thrashing beast with ropes and hoisted him on the back of a pickup truck. But that was not the end of Osama. Villagers eager to slay the monstrous fiend, were told that it wasn't allowed. Officials told them even he has rights. He cannot be killed with impunity. Tell that to Osama bin Laden. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Alrighty. Instead, he was given to the owners of Uganda Crocs to be used in their breeding program. This croc went around and killed 80 innocent people, and he gets to spend the rest of his days fucking. Imagine, imagine your relative, spouse, daughter, child getting eaten by a crocodile. You guys finally capture it, hoping to kill it, only to be told by the wildlife preserve, nah, you can't kill it. He's got rights. He's going to be sent off to go to the breeding program and breed a bunch of more Osamas into the world. He's just going to go and fuck a bunch of more. He's going to fuck his way into breeding a bunch of more new Osama man eaters. Do they not forget that that's like in his DNA now? This is crazy. Imagine, right? Your family member gets eaten by a crocodile, and the crocodile gets literally gets off scot free and gets to go and just fuck for the rest of his life. Like this is what we're dealing with, right? If this happened now and people found out about it, they'd be screaming, "Oh my god, it's so woke! The Ugandans are so woke! This crocodile killed a bunch of 80 people, and they're saying he has rights. You see, it's everywhere. Oh my god, this is crazy. This is crazy, right? I mean, that's just so funny to me. He gets off scot free. He just gets to go and fuck. Killed 80 people, and he gets to spend the rest of his days fucking. He's probably still fucking right now. It's crazy. Oh man. They hope that he will sire hundreds or even thousands more giant man eating crocodiles whose skin can be turned into handbags or fashionitas in countries such as Italy and South Korea. So nobody wins in this scenario. My God. Oh man, humanity is so sick and twisted. Humanity is so sick and twisted. The farm also doubles as a tourist attraction as members of the public can pop up to see Osama, the man eating crocodile, be fatten up and fuck for the rest of his days. Ah, man. If Osama didn't, betray the CIA, he probably would have gotten a sweet deal like this. Oh, Lord. Well, the saga of Osama has ended. Oh my gosh. Wow. Now, on to the main attraction. Now that I've reeled you in with Osama, let's get to Gustav. Alrighty. This article was written 05/11/2023. Africa, a place with little development, still has many rare beasts. They shuttle in the jungle and water, do not like to prey on animals, but prefer the taste of human flesh. In the past, the two swords of the Savo cannibal lion brothers combined their swords and killed 135 people in 1 year. Later, a giant crocodile single handedly killed more than 300 people in 10 years. Gustav, the killing weapon of the crocodile world. This crocodile, with overwhelming combat power, was named after the famous German killing weapon during World War II, the Gustav train gun. The giant crocodile Gustav lives in Burundi, Africa, and is often seen on the northern shore of Lake Tanganyika and the Ruzizi River basin. It is a male Nile crocodile. It is more than 5.5 meters in length. Some witnesses claim that it may be 7.5 meters and weighs more than 900 kilograms. If judged directly by its size, Gustav is at least 100 years old, but its teeth are very complete, unlike an old crocodile. So it is estimated that it not may be more than 60 years old. However, the weight of an adult Nile crocodile can weigh up to tons, so it may still be in the growing stage. The Nile crocodile is a solitary animal that dives into the water at night and sunbathes on the shore at sunrise. The smaller Nile crocodile can live in harmony with the hippopotamus, and the hippopotamus uses their back as a platform for the Nile crocodile to basking in the sun. Because hippos are social animals, Nile crocodiles can take advantage of them when competing for water sources. They are often driven by hippos to scurry around. However, when facing Gustav, hippos dare not act rashly. Oh wow. Small Nile crocodile crawls on a hippo. Here we literally have a photo of a small Nile crocodile sunbathing on top of a hippo. I wonder what the safe word is. The Nile crocodile usually likes to lie in ambush in the water and sneak attack on the antelope, zebra, buffalo, catch cheetahs, hyenas, and lions. Few Nile crocodiles will attack humans. African indigenous people are usually sent out in groups and use tools and weapons. Nile crocodiles are often outnumbered. But Gustav is very smart. He likes to attack humans and only chooses the human beings alone. Killing giant water monster. Since 1995, there have been rumors of crocodiles eating people in the villages around Lake Tanganyika. In 1998, an eyewitness claimed that he saw a disappearing dinosaur attacking a female in the same village, Ozil, by the lake. On the day of Ozil's disappearance, the lake was filled with heavy fog, and the visibility was then 10 meters. But she chose this time to go to the lake alone to wash clothes. Just halfway through the wash, a giant crocodile moved quickly and fiercely suddenly appeared and bit Ozil's arm, dragging her into the water. The villagers searched around the lake for 2 days but failed to find Ozil, and they became more convinced that she was dragged away by the water monster in the lake. Gustav. After a while, Ko Nida, a villager by the river Ruziji, had another incident. Connie came to the river to herd cattle. When the cow was drinking water, she was attacked by a giant crocodile. She was not afraid, so she jumped into the water and chased the crocodile. Unexpectedly, the crocodile not only did not run, but turned around and bit her thigh, dragging her into the water. A few days later, Konita's body surfaced, but there were no limbs and only a torso. Jesus. Konita's father called the police. Based on the condition of the wound, the police concluded that Konita was killed by a crocodile. French herpetologist Patrice Fay heard of these rumors and was very interested in this crocodile, planning to explore these places. But it didn't take him long. Kosovo, a village on Lake Tanganyika, was killed again. Kosovo and a group of villagers went to the lake to fish, but his fishing net accidentally caught a giant crocodile. Bane threw the fishing net and rushed toward Kosovo. Before he could speak for help, the crocodile dragged him to the bottom with a huge mouth. Patrice came after hearing the news, but there was no trace of Kosovo and the giant crocodile. Here we have a photo of Patrice Fay. Based on the description of the villagers on the spot and his investigation of the previous incident, Patrice believes that the same crocodile may have committed the crime. After he saw the crocodile for the first time, he was amazed by its size and fighting capacity and named it Gustave. Patrice had no choice but to tell the local villagers to stay away from the water, and there was no other solution. Here we have a photo of a boat being overturned by a crocodile. Is it killing for food or just play? After observing Gustave at close range, he found that there were 3 bullet marks on his body and a large number of wounds on his right shoulder blade. It shows that someone tried to shoot Gustave, but I don't know if they missed a point or its skin was too hard. Gustave was only injured. Later, African soldiers who met Gustave confirmed this. They had shot it with guns many times and even used an AK-47 rifle, but the bullets could not penetrate its skin. When the soldiers met Gustave, they had to throw grenades at it to drive them away, successfully. Damn. Not even an AK-47 could stop this motherfucker. Wow. Here we have an image of Gustave with bullet wounds. Some people believe that the Nile crocodile has a low metabolic capacity and can maintain its body temperature by basking in the sun, so it does not need to eat much food. After eating an adult antelope, it can eat nothing during the year. And Gustave attacks humans 3 times in a row in a few months, probably just to satisfy its perverted desire to kill. But Patrice speculated that Gustave liked to attack people because he was in estrus and his emotions were up and down. In addition, the crocodile itself had a violent temperament. So this is on his period. I think there are plenty of women who could relate. But in the following years, Gustave frequently haunted the Ruzizi River and the Tanganyika Lake, hunting humans fanatically, sometimes simply hunting without eating the corpses. Between 1995 and 2005, Gustav killed 300 humans. Here we have a photographic image of Gustav. Patrice and other scientists tried to capture Gustav many times and recorded their capture process, which became the documentary Capturing the Killer Crocodile, but without success. Patrice finally had to leave Burundi. Today, the 6-year-old Patrice is still unable to let go, and failing to capture Gustav seems to be his life regret. Here we have an image of Patrice now. Another murderous crocodile caught in Africa. A cannibal crocodile once existed in Uganda, Africa, and it was not as big as Gustav, but he still likes to attack humans. In the 14 years from 1991 to 2005, this crocodile ate a tenth of the people's village population, eating more than 80 people in total. Shout out to our boy Osama. But fortunately, it was finally successfully captured in 2005, but the big concerns of the local villagers were lost. Here we have, again, the image of Osama being caught back in 2005. In 2016, Gustav appeared in people's field of vision again, but no one dared to approach it. Today, it still appears in these waters and has become a legendary giant crocodile in Burundi. The villagers around Lake Tugangayaki, and the Ruzizi River were also shrouded in fear of being attacked by giant crocodiles. Wow. Well, don't let that sanctuary get a hold of Gustav. He'll spend the rest of his days fucking and eating as well. Crazy. And the fact that this crocodile Gustav is still out there. I remember watching a documentary about him like when I was like I don't know, like 12, 11, 13, around there. And I was like, "Wow, this is crazy." And the thing that this and like I was saying, it's like, the crocodile, it's like a perfect predator. And this, Gustav seems to be the, ultra instinct of the crocodiles. you know, it's absolutely fascinating. And just imagine, right? Imagine having to live your life knowing that at any moment, a giant crocodile could just drag you into the water. And it is happening in California. How many times have we seen in those retirement homes where elderly people get dragged into the water by crocodiles? Uh, I think it's kind of funny how, like, Florida is such a, it seems like a fun place to live, but at the same time, you're rolling around with dinosaurs. Like, it's just crazy to think that, there are corners of this earth where we still got dinosaurs roaming about, and we still have to navigate them. Uh, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. And we're fortunate that we don't have some of the larger prehistoric animals around. Otherwise, we'd not be able to do anything. We wouldn't be able to go hiking, nothing. But to think that this crocodile's killed over 300 people, it's still going. It's still racking up bodies. It would have an OnlyFans by now, okay? It would be on the whatever podcast. Fresh and Fit would be interviewing Gustav. Just Pearly Things would be tweeting away about Gustav. But nature is a fascinating thing. But like I was saying, this this story is so, epic and legendary. They made a movie about it. Let me see if I can pull it up. I think you guys, if you're into these kind of films, you may enjoy it. But I don't think you guys can hear the audio. Let me make sure you guys can hear the audio. No, I don't think you guys can hear the audio. No. I've seen like bits and pieces of that film. It's actually really good. Uh, it's one of those it's one. It does a really good job of like showing the. I've seen like bits and pieces. Jesus. It does a really good job of not showing the crocodile too much. Just when you need to see it. It's a really good film. Um, so I highly recommend people out there if you're into horror films and what have you, check that one out. It's a solid film. Solid film. There's some actually really good crocodile films. Um, there's that one, Prime Evil. Lake Placid. Damn. There's another one. What's it called? Like Killer Croc. It's like this. It's like it's like a bunch of college kids, and they go to a lake to party and live it up, and it just sort of happens to be a killer croc there. It's a really good film. They use practical effects, um, and like there's scenes where like a girl, like she gets her foot stuck in between two trees, and this croc is just taking his sweet time to her, and you just watch her get slowly eaten. Oh man, it's great. There's another there's another scene where a girl, I think it's a girl, she gets eaten inside a store, and the creature is like, oh, the crocodile opens his mouth, and you can see the girl inside, and she's like still alive and like shaking. Oh my god, it's such a gruesome. Uh, gosh, I'm gonna look it up, see if I can find the name. Um, let's see if I can find it. Is this it? Yes, I think this is it. Yes, Crocodile from. Let me see if there's a trailer for it. Yeah, let me see if there's a trailer for it because you guys might actually you might like this film. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. Yeah, I'll pull this trailer up for you guys so you can see it. Yeah, I remember seeing this movie back in 2000, or maybe later in the later 2000s. And you know what's so weird is back in the day, I used to really enjoy horror films. But now I don't want nothing to do with them. But yeah. But what I enjoyed about this film was uh the practical effects. Like they did a good job using practical effects at that time. I mean, it could be for all I know, it could actually be a terrible film, and I just don't remember because I was, like, I was in my preteens when I first saw it. But from what I remember, it was pretty crazy. But I highly recommend if you guys are into horror films like that, the nature horror films, which I think are a lot more funner. Like one of my favorite um horror films is Eight-Legged Freaks. Eight-Legged Freaks is an amazing uh horror film. So yeah, check this film out. It's ridiculous. Jesus. Yeah, check it out. It's a very campy film, but very fun. You know, had some really good campy, like horror, like sci-fi, and like nature horror films was sci-fi, bro. Sci-fi back in the day, in like the late '90s, early 2000s, had some dope horror films. And like and I mean by dope, I mean they're very campy and cheesy, but they were so much fun. Oh man. Oh god, they had one. It was like a knockoff of Godzilla. And they had like a scene where you had all these like special soldiers in these jetpacks fighting like a Godzilla knockoff. It was so ridiculous, but oh man, was it so much fun. Oh man. What was a good one? There's this other one where this chick rents out this cottage, and then it turns out that it's like riddled with these killer like iguanas that like evolve every time you kill them. And she and this like scientist gotta like defeat them. It's very ridiculous, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, man. Oh, they had another one. This was a crazy one where it was at like at a museum, and this creature gets out, and like it eats like a specific type of thing, and it would like eat the heads. No, it would eat like the bone marrow in the head, something weird like that. And it would like chop off the head and eat this like the bones, and then the head would just be laying around. It was weird, but man, the Sci-Fi Channel back in the day when it was cool had some ridiculous sci-fi films and TV shows, but their films were ridiculous and better than tornado sharks or whatever that crappiness. They had another really funny one where it was like these mutated piranhas. Um, that one was cool. It was out in like the bayou. That was a cool one. But yeah, man, nature is crazy. It'd be like imagine if the megalodon shark was still alive. Like we, no one would be going into waters. But yeah, I love the animal horror films. Those I enjoy because they're fun and ridiculous. Like I said, check out Crocodile. Lake Placid, Primeval, Eight Legged Freaks. That's a fun one. Oh, DNA. Oh man, I used to love DNA when I was a kid. That's another good one. Uh, if you're looking for campiness, if you're into like campy films, I don't mind campy stuff. I know some people are very testy about that, but I enjoy my campy films. So yeah, go out there. I know Halloween's over with, but check out some of these crocodile films and let me know in the comments if you tried them, if you enjoyed it, what you liked, if you thought it was stupid, which most of them are, but they're so much fun. Eight-legged freaks is so much fun. Oh gosh, that one is so much fun. But yeah, nature's wild. Um, this Gustav, I would love. I don't know if I want to go hang out in his territory because it just seems like that'd be a problem. But just to eyewitness to see that massive croc and to like see the bullet holes and whatnot would be incredible. And it's incredible. We have some really ancient animals just running their muck on this earth, and either we don't know about them or legends like Gustav. It's really interesting. We are very fortunate we don't have dinosaurs still running amok. Although it would be dope to be riding a velociraptor around, right? You know, or a triceratops. That would be cool. If you ever check this out, check out a book called Dinotopia. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorites. It's like a world where dinosaurs and humans live together. It's really cool. But yeah, that's it for today, ladies and gents. Uh, keep an eye out for any more wild animal stories. If you guys hear any, please share them with me. I would love to cover them. Um, you know, shout out to Gustav and R.I.P. Osama. Oh Lord, strange times indeed. But I hope everyone has a lovely rest of their Sunday. If you have good weather near you, get out there and enjoy the weather while you still can. If not, stay bundled in and stay warm. And I'll catch you guys soon. Oh, and before I forget, if you did not catch my Rōnin announcement, please make sure that you watch that live stream. It's only 30 minutes. And then keep an eye out for tonight at 8 p.m. for the reveal of that set announcement. So, until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lounge Ronin. And until next time, stay positive, stay focused, stay true, and much, much love.